Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here with the MIRL boys. Sorry for the late join tonight, but we are running here at Oxford's Plains Raceway, the Oval. We got 200 laps tonight here at Super Stocks with these boys, and Speedway 660 is who this race is presented by tonight and sponsoring. Pretty good drivers here. These guys run a solid series. We haven't been able to see them for a couple of weeks with the holidays coming over, but that being said, we are in good shape here tonight. We apologize coming in the late broadcast and getting on board, but we are out here now with Ryan Messer, Ashton Tucker, Jake Goodwin, Steve Matthews, Ricky Arbo, Danny Chisholm, who's currently running 6th. Evan Osborne, 7th. Mike Alexander, David Cassidy, David Hollerson, George White, David Morgan, the 2nd. And Kyle Boudreau with Doug Hughley and Matthew Barkhouse on board again tonight. Looks like we're in for a long green flag run right now. Our current leader is Ryan Messer. He's followed by the 32 Ashton Tucker and the 24 Jake Goodwin, with the 00 Stephen Matthews and 61 of Ricky Arbo running 5th. Pretty long track to run here. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, we got 200 laps to run. We got about 21 in the books this time. Looks like everybody's been able to get in line and pretty much run single file, nose to tail, and these guys are going to take their chances to take the opportunity to pass whenever the door opens. Look like now we have a car on the outside trying to make a pass. That looks like the 13, the David Cassidy, is moving around the outside of the number 87. Danny Chisholm makes a pass. Like typical short track race again here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. This boy's going to have to get by on the high side if they're going to be able to get by anybody. Either that, you're going to have to slide a little bit of a bumper to it and get these boys a little bit loose. Either on exit or an entrance to one of these corners to be able to pick up a position, but the key to doing that is being able to do it where they don't wreck the guy in front of them and pick up a bunch of cars behind them. Go look now, we got the 13 of David Cassidy trying to make a pass on the outside of the 91. He's able to make it stick, and he's able to come out turn 3, pick up past the green start finish line, pick up that position for 9th, cracking the top 10 for the first time tonight. Apologize on the mic tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Having just a little bit of technical difficulties. As they run coming out of turn 4, we'll give you a quick breakdown of our leaders. Looks like right now the number 1 car, Ryan Messer, has been able to open up a 3.3 second lead over the second place runner of Ashton Kutcher in the number 32. Car right behind him is going to be the 24 of Jake Goodwin, currently running third, with the 00 Stephen Matthews in fourth, and Ricky Arbo in the number 61. He's going to follow up in fifth position. So all these cars make a pretty good battle on the track. We've got a pretty good battle going on right now between the 32 and the 24. They seem to be comfortable and set in line, running nose to tail. Another good battle looks like it's getting ready to develop on the track as well would be Ricky Arbo in 15 and Mike Alexander. He's really been on the move since the start of this race. He's ninth position, he's all the way up to sixth. So we go by this time, 41 laps complete in the books of 200. Race is set for 2 hours flat, so these boys have pretty long ways to go left in this race. It's a 0.38 mile track with 4 turns, so we're talking the short tracks of short tracks here, just under 4/10 of a mile, ladies and gentlemen. These boys do pretty good, so it'll be interesting to see if these tires on the 1 car, he's been just hauling the mail. He's got probably the perfect setup out there. He's got clean track running too, so it'll be interesting to see if he's able to save his tires and not have an issue of burning them off too quick, running up the lead he is right now. Lap times for Ryan Messer last time by, he ran a 16 with a 1-2. Ashton Tucker ran a 16 with a 2-1. Jake Goodwin ran a 16 with a 2-2. Stephen Matthews 16 with a 2-3. And fifth place car Ricky Arbo 16 with a 2-9. So as it goes by right now, that 1 car is a current full 10th faster than everybody else on the track. For those of you who are new to picking up on this series with us, that we broadcast pretty much every other week, and you know, sometimes consistent 2 to 3 weeks run in a row. Every single one of these drivers is out of Canada. They're all from the 5 provinces on the East Coast. It's one of the requirements to be in this league, so you get a tight-knit group of guys who also do a lot of things in the summer as far as racing. So this is their winter break off of the summer racing. These guys run short tracks all winter season long out here on iRacing, and then they go back to racing some of the regular oval cars and asphalt cars back in the summertime, and they take a break from iRacing where they do the real racing. So these guys put on a pretty good show. A lot of solid drivers. All of them are good friends. They've been running together for a long time. So we've got 15 drivers on the track tonight. And it looks like we have just 1 car right now, 1 lap down. That is the 26 in Matthew Bartels. Past races, he's been pretty quick for the most part, so we're interested to see if he's been able to hold on, if he's just saving his equipment until later in the run. At some point, I would imagine these boys are going to have to probably come down the pit right around lap 120. The 00 right now side by side. Looks like 00 Stephen Matthews is going to lose the position to Ricky Arbo in 61. what happened there just a couple laps ago was the double zero had got into the rear end in 44, got him a little loose, the double zero backed off, but that caused him to move up the racetrack as well. So we're going to see him drop a few positions back down to the 5th or 6th position in the running order, where he was running third. The boys will jump back in line, and no worse for the wear. These guys are doing a pretty good job out here, and that's just it here in these short tracks. You either got to make your own hole or wait for somebody to make a mistake. The tough part for these guys on this track is that they rarely make mistakes, and they hold their lines pretty good. So it's going to be tough passing going on tonight. These guys are going to have to make up some spots on pit road for sure. Or, like I said earlier, they're going to have to make a hole themselves to get through. Solid driving going on. Looks like we've got another battle coming up between Ricky Arbo and the number 61. Looks like he was just kind of pushed up the racetrack, opened up the door for the number 15, Mike Alexander, who's been on a move since this race started. He started out this race in 9th position. He's got his way fought up to 5th place right now, taking that away from the number 61 of Ricky Arbo. I wonder if Ricky's going to be able to get back down to the bottom, get in line, you hold that position off for the double zero, and he was able to get back down in front of him. Double zero got some in of Stephen Matthews. Pretty classic move right there, realizing that they already got in a little bit of trouble once and move up enough positions and sit here and ride for a little bit of years. Mike Alexander, in the number 15, he is making a charge. Ladies and gentlemen, he's made his way up to 4th position now, right back to the bumper, the number 24 at Jake Gooden. We've also got some very solid battles going on back here on the track as well, with George White, Evan Osborne, and Danny Chisholm all within a second of each other. So we'll look to see what these guys can do. Something they can make it up to the front with these guys on the pit greens, or however they're going to find a way to get by, but they got some on the track front and try to open it up. Solid battle going on between the 71 right now and the 41 of Evan Osborne, as the 71 of George White is able to pick up the position on the exit of turn 2. He will move up to the 7th position, just trade spots with Evan Osborne. They started 7th and 8th respectively. It looks like George White in that 71 sees an opportunity to pick up some open track and get moving. So if he can't catch up and make up about 3 seconds on the 61 of Ricky Arbo. All right, as we
You don't look too bad.
Time by Ryan Messer. No, it's gotten better. Just the track looks a little green. The cars look pretty good. Still have a decent battle going on. All right, as we come back here, and last time by, Ryan Messer in the one car has opened up an 8.4 second lead on the rest of this field, ladies and gentlemen. We still have a decent battle going on between 32 of Ashton Tucker and the 15 of Mike Alexander. Back to them, you've got Jake Goodwin in the 24 and Ricky Arbo. Ricky Arbo is just about 4/10 back of Jake Goodwin, getting ready to make a battle for 4th position. He remains in the top 5. Well, George White in the 71. He's been able to move up through the field as well. He started this race in 8th position. He's moved his way up to 6th, and it seems like he's picked up some good speed coming up through with this open track he's got in front of him. So it looks like he's knocking off about a 10th a lap to currently in 7th position. So no big there now. Right now, looks like one of the biggest losers to the evening so far is Kyle Boudreau. He started this race in 6th position, graded on the spot there, and he's fallen back to 8th, but he is remaining on the lead lap. That being said, it looks like it's the next car to go one lap down. Just as I spoke that, the leader Ryan Messer was able to pass by him. So that will leave us 7 cars standing on the lead lap right now, with Evan Osborne in the current 7th place position. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a battle still developing right now on the track. Looks like Jake Goodwin and Ricky Arbo have switched positions really quick. Ricky Arbo is now running 4th. Jake Goodwin, who started this race in 2nd position on the grid, is now running 5th. He's got 3 positions. He's still remaining with 7 cars on the lead lap. Evan Osborne looks like right now he's about 14 seconds back of the leader. Ryan Messer, who's still turning 16-second laps. 16.3 second laps to be exact. So with that being said, Evan Osborne is just around 2 seconds from going down the lap, going up 2 laps, as we have a caution on the speedway. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that will bring the pace car out. That gives all these boys a chance to come in, get fresh tires, full load of fuel, get ready to run for the next part of this lap. It's also going to give an opportunity for one of these drivers. It looks like Danny Chisholm, the 87 driver, will get his lucky dog. He's going to leave David Morgan, Kyle Boudreau, Doug Hughley, Jason Halverson, Matthew Barkhouse 1 lap down. They will have the opportunity, if they choose to not pit, and take the wave around, which will put them all back on the lead lap. Tough break for Kyle Boudreau in the 64. It looks like his engine smoking and may have retired for the night. He's made his way to pit road. Pit guys come out, try to get in there and get some work done on it. Hopefully they can salvage that car and he can come out and try to get back on track, and then maybe pick up a lap or 2 to try to stay on the lead lap and try to get a solid finish out of this race. Right now he is currently being shown on the lead lap, but he is on pit road getting his equipment fixed. And we are back under green here at Oxford Plains Raceway, ladies and gentlemen. We have a new leader picking up some spots on pit road. That was Ricky Arbo in the number 61. He's going to get the open track and have cool weather punching him down, but don't look now that number 1 Ryan Messer's trying to put as much pressure on that back bumper as he can now to try to get by him as he pushes him up, gives him a little tap on the exit, gets him to move up. That puts Ricky Arbo up into the marbles. He's just dirt tracking it around the outside. He's going to try to hold on to this. He's going to be able to get back down in front of the group there. That's Ricky Arbo currently running in second, but that opens the one on the inside for Ashley Tucker to take away second position. He's able to pull up the pass, he will move up, and he does so. But just like that, off like a rocket, the number 1 Orion Messers well back in front. The other car to keep an eye on tonight, he was pretty fast towards the end of that long run. He looks like he was just biding his time back in traffic. Is that number 1 of George White? He's got one heck of a run going on tonight, running around. He's able to pick up some, looks like he's able to pick up a few track positions on the high side. So he's going to pass a couple cars on the high side. He's got something figured out there for sure, and that's what he's going to need to do with the exception of having to move somebody out of the way. But as this race progresses, we'll see that line start to gradually move up into the high side in these corners as it gets all rubbered in here on the bottom. A little extra place to go down. It's just not quite as greasy. With all the rubber buildup on the bottom of this track in the corners to try to pick up some speed on the high side. We have caution on the speedway, ladies and gentlemen. That'll make some good changes for these boys coming in here. It'll be interesting to see what they come up with. Have to go back here and take a look and see what happened. And well, these guys are under caution. These cautions end up going by pretty quick. So try to find out and see exactly what happened there and see who got into it. Looks like coming into turn 2, the 87 got into the back end of the 33 of Doug Hubley. 87 is on the track of Danny Chisholm, so it looks like he went around. He's parked his car for the night, so it looks like this might have been his second or third incident he got into. He was 4 laps down when he went through, and that brought out the caution. Doug Hubley's now 4 laps down as well. At the time, Danny Chisholm has gone down to 7 laps because he's been removed from the race server. So the 87 tonight disqualified for one reason or another. We'll probably catch up with one of the race control and see if we can pick up anything up. So ladies and gentlemen, here tonight on YouTube, kind of a special little thing. We're also streaming this lady live through Facebook at the same time for the MIRL boys here. So I want to take a chance to talk about one of their sponsors tonight who picked up the race late in the day. Looks like that was picked up by Speedway 660, so thank you boys out there. Hopefully you're watching tonight, either on Facebook or out on YouTube land. We appreciate you guys coming on board and picking up the broadcasting for these boys tonight. They put on one heck of a show, I think you'd agree. Some seriously talented drivers. So that being said, we're going to go through and check out the running order as we go back to green. Right now we have 2 cars on the track that have chosen not to pit. That's going to be the number 1 of Ryan Messer, as well as the, looks like the number 24 is going to get the wave around. That was a big difference. Looks like we have 2 new leaders up in the front, ladies and gentlemen. I had my order misconfigured. It was the number 15 of Mike Alexander. Second place car is Ricky Arbo at the start of this restart, but it looks like right now Ricky Arbo is falling out of the line. That's going to open up the door for the likes of George White, Ashton Tucker. And the 32 car was able to move his way by Ricky Arbo. Right on his back bumper is that 71 of George White, who started this race in 8th position, as he is now up to 4th. And there is another caution on the speedway. We got another wreck going on. We're going to go back and take a look and see if we can take a look at that and figure out who that was. Look like the number 1 of Ryan Messer just got into the back end of the 16 of David Morgan entering into turn 2. Just gave him a little bit of touch, barely touched his back bumper. That sent him by. But when he did that, that forced the other cars to go to the high side. And when he went down to the bottom, that brought out the caution this time by when he stopped on the bottom of the track with nowhere to go. He was kind of forced to go into pit road to avoid any kind of extra damage. It's one of those short track racing instances, ladies and gentlemen, that happens frequently out here. It's just one of those things where these boys go out, have to find a way to make their own hole, and they do so by just giving a little shove to the car in front of them and try to get him a little bit loose like he did. I don't think he wanted to get him that loose, but he might have, you know, obviously he was doing it to try to get by. Pretty clean pass for the most part, but that will cause him and get him an EOL or an end-of-the-line penalty for the number 1 car, who has been the fastest car out here on the track all night long. Ryan Messer in that number 1 is going to have quite a ways to go back here, make it back through the field, as he is going to be restarting at the end of the longest line. So if we got 13 cars on the track, then number 1 will be restarting 13th this next time by. All right, ladies and gentlemen, just to give you a quick run through the lineup of the restart. We're going to have Mike Alexander on the inside, outside handicap 32 of Ashton Tucker. Inside row 2 will be number 61 of Ricky Arbo. This cars off, and we are green out of turn 4. Huge jump from Mike Alexander, getting back to the line to hold his position. He's getting to the bottom of turn 1, maintaining, but right now riding hard on his bumper of Ashton Tucker. one of the more consistent drivers we've seen night in, night out in this racetrack. It's that 61 of Ricky Arbo as well as that 15 of Mike Alexander. We've got two of the biggest movers right now. We talked about the 26 of Matthew Barkhouse in the past where he's had success in these short tracks. Well, right now, Matthew Barkhouse is currently running 4 He's starting this race at 15th in the dead last position. That being said, he's moving his way up in the running position so far to 118 laps. Next time by, we're going to have about 81 laps to go. Green flag racing go by, green caution anyway. And these boys will be putting on one heck of a show. As these laps start to wind down, these boys will start to get impatient, try to take advantage of where they can and make some passes. Right now, the number 1 of Ryan Messer, he's able to get by a couple drivers after starting in the back, and also just behind him is Jake Goodwin in the 24. He's found some success early in this track running up front, but now he's basically just following the 1 around this track. The 1 is a very fast car. It'll be interesting to see if he can make his way up in the front. Still a solid battle for first and second, and third and fourth out here on the racetrack, ladies and gentlemen. Mike Alexander, the 15, leader, followed by Ashton Tucker, the 32. And closing the gap hard also is the 26 of Matthew Barkhouse right behind the 61 of Ricky Arbo. New name jumping up into the top 5. We haven't had a chance to talk about him much tonight. He's that number 1 of the 41, Evan Osborne. He's running 5th with George White running 7th. Breathing down, he's back shortly, about a second back. He'll be the number 1 of Ryan Messer running 7th. George White running 6th. Evan Osborne running 5th. But Matthew Barkhouse still the biggest mover, starting 15th. He's up to 4th. And Mike Alexander in that 15 car, who's been fast all night too now, is currently your leader, starting this race in 9th position. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're interested, I want to say a big shout out to one of the sponsors this evening. First and foremost, Maritime iRacing Leagues, who we're running with tonight at Oxford Plains here in this 4/10 of a mile oval. Again, these guys put on one heck of a show all night long. And just want to give a big shout out to our sponsor tonight, bringing it to you, Speedway 660. It's going to be our sponsor. It's a local track that one of the track admins and owners officiates for in the off season for my racing, on season in the summer. So big shout out to the boys at Speedway 660 for picking up the broadcast for these fantastic drivers here in the MIRL Racing League. The number 1 of Ryan Messer has moved his way all the way up at this point. He's back up to 6th position, just breathing down the back of the 41 of Evan Osborne. Looks like Evan's been able to hold his line pretty decent around the bottom. He's not going to just give up and let him go by, even though he is the faster car. He wants to hold his position on this track as well. So he's going to make the number 1 of Ryan Messer earn it. Earn it by... Ryan's going to have to find a way around him and be able to get him on exit. Looks like he'll be able to drop down to the bottom. 41 gets a little tighter on exit. That opens up the door for the 1 of Ryan Messer and the 24 to follow him through. So unfortunately for the 41, Evan Osborne, he's going to give up 2 positions for Ryan Messer and Jake Goodwin. Looks like we had the 71 of George White drop off the track. He's dropped back to 8th place. Looks like he just lost a little momentum, got a little loose off the corner, and got a little sideways, getting back into the throttle a little soon. These guys have been running down for a whole... We're running green since lap 116. We're up to 134, so they've got 16 laps under the belt, 17 laps under the belt in this run. Some of these guys did and did not change tires. That's going to be a factor as we progress down. We got another 64 laps until we finish this race tonight here at Oxford Plains Speedway in the MIRL Series. Looks like Jason Halverson got a little bit loose, pushed up into the gravel, got really spinny loose, ends up spinning out, going off the track, but he's able to drive back on the track, keep it going as we stay in the green here at Oxford Plains Speedway. Now we have got a battle going on right now between the 61, the 1, and the 26 with Ricky Arbo getting pressured hard from the high side on the 1. Looks like he's going to be able to drive around and muscle his way past on the high side. And that's Ryan Messer in the number 1 car. He has been moving up steadily since this restart. He wants to get back to the lead as soon as he can. Going back to the 2 leaders, ladies and gentlemen, Mike Alexander, 15, and Ashton Tucker running second place right behind him, just 4/10 back. He's been able to close the gap this time by. Ashton Tucker's been able to increase to just over 3/10 behind the number 15, Mike Alexander. Car to watch out there, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in, is that number 1 car. He has been on a rail all night long. He has absolutely nailed the setup in that number 1 car tonight. Some of these other guys right now are just doing whatever they can to hold on as he's moved his way up to 3rd after restarting 14th on the track. Ladies and gentlemen, we are down to just 7 cars on the lead lap here at Oxford Plains Raceway in the Speedway 660 sponsored event tonight in the Maritime iRacing League. It's like right now our top 10 as they cross the start-finish line will be Mike Alexander in 1st, Ashton Tucker in 2nd, Ryan Messer in 3rd, Matthew Barkhouse in 4th position all the way up from 15th starting spot. Ricky Arbo solidly in the top 5, followed by Evan Osborne in the 6th. 7 car will be 7th position, George White in 71. First car 1 lap down will be David Morgan at this point, ladies and gentlemen. So if a caution does come out, he will have an opportunity to get his lead lap back and be on the lead lap with Lucky Dog here at Oxford Plains in the MIRL Speedway 660-200. Again, this is just a 4/10 of a mile track, so these guys are going around in circles pretty doggone quick. Still turning about 16-second laps each time by. Couple other battles starting to develop on the racetrack, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like Evan Osborne in the 41 is going to try to pressure Ricky Arbo for that top 5 position. He's cut that lead from a second down to 6/10 right now, so it should be interesting to see what happens here in the next 50 laps to see if he's able to get his way up there in that 41 machine and get by the 61 of Ricky Arbo. But right now, leader in the field, the 15 of Mike Alexander, he's going to start pulling away a little bit. He's opened up a little bit of a gap over Ashton Tucker, but right behind him, that number 1 car, Ryan Messer, that's going to be the tough guy to hold off tonight for the win. He's been the class of the field in that first run through. We were running through the green flag start. He was able to open up to an 8-second lead over the field, so he's had quite a bit of space and time to move back over this last long green flag run. But I can promise you one thing, that 32 car, Ashton Tucker, is going to want to hold on to that second place finish as much as he can, as well as the 15 of Mike Alexander. This car is going to become very wide and very tough to get by, as you can see. Ryan Messer in the 1 doing everything he can right now to try to find a different line on the track to pick up a little bit of speed and get by these two drivers. One of the cars I want to touch on right now, ladies and gentlemen, is the 91 of Jason Halverson. We haven't heard much from him lately. He is currently 2 laps down at this short track, but he's got a pretty clean car out there and has been running a pretty fantastic race. Sometimes some of these guys who are usually running around the middle of the pack don't get a lot of TV time, so we like to do whatever we can for all these guys here at Maritime iRacing League to get them some TV time as well. So we're going to sit on board the number 91 for a few laps and see if we can't pick up. Just then, 91, 1 car, 1 lap down. He's got the 71, lets him go by to the inside as George White is car on the lead lap right now. So classic move right there by the 91 Jason Halverson. Looks like Jason is sponsored by SPTL, so that's going to be Superior Power Products Limited, Solutions at Work. So thank you to SPTL for being on the hook tonight at the 91 of Jason Halverson. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am back here. It looks like we're getting a little bit of reverberation on the Facebook live feed. That's probably coming from my headset here as I'm broadcasting this race live on YouTube. We'll try to make those corrections for you if we can. If you're out there on Facebook Live, let us know any feedback you can and how this race is working. And this is the first time doing it. So, for a full race, some feedback if you can, if you don't mind. That, again, all those out there on YouTube watching right now, we are actually streaming the YouTube feed on our Facebook page, and that is motorbrakes.tv. Go there and check out the feed as well and see what you think of it. Right now, we got a pretty cool camera picture going on right now for you on the inside of the left car, just on the outside, looking out the front. Looks like that is the number 91 of Jason Halverson. While we were away for a little bit there, ladies and gentlemen, it looked like the number 1 of Ryan Messer was able to make his way by Ashton Tucker in the 32. As it stands now, he is all over the back bumper of Mike Alexander and is closed down to, brought it down to right down to a 1/10 of the gap in the second. So on this short track, 1/10 isn't a whole lot whatsoever. So you'll see these guys start battling for these last 30 laps on the track that we have. 30 green flag laps remaining in this race here at Oxford Plains. See if the 15 Mike Alexander is able to hold off Ryan Messer. One thing that is working in Ryan Messer's favor is we are currently mired in some pretty decent lap traffic. It's like the next car on the post to go a lap down. If these drivers can get by clean, will be David Morgan. That will put him 2 laps down on the track. And he just moves over and gives space to let these 2 leaders go by and let them battle it out on their own. Next car in front of them looks to be the number 41, and he moves up to the high side to the 91. Pretty classy moves are seen here on the racetrack right now. Let these leaders get by pretty clean so they can do battle amongst themselves. Oh, we got a little bit older track up in front of Mike Alexander. Let's see kind of he's able to put on any distance or worse than one. Ryan Messer can find a way to get around him. I don't know if he's going to have to move him or what, give him the bumper. But as these laps tick down, we've got about 24 laps left here at Green Flag Racing. Let's see what happens and how this bench turns out in the next 15 laps. I think we should see some pretty exciting racing going on between that first and second place car. The other ones we were looking at, we got about 7/10ths of a second drop between Ashton Tucker and Matthew Barkhouse. Right now, Matthew's just dropped off a little bit that last lap. It looks like he's down to 1.3 seconds back. So, best battle we have on the track right now, other than that first and second place position, ladies and gentlemen, looks to be between the number 61 of Ricky Arbo and just behind him, the number 41 of Evan Osborne. Looks like Evan Osborne's doing whatever he can going around this track, trying to find any speed he can find to get around the 61 Ricky Arbo and pick up that top 5 finish this race. Next time the leaders come by, and number 15 Mike Alexander, that will leave us with 21 laps remaining here at Oxford Speedway, the speed for the Maritime iRacing League. Ladies and gentlemen, go check them out. Pretty fun group to watch. If you get a chance, go watch the races here on YouTube through us when we broadcast them, or you can check out some of the races that they have done here in the past on our YouTube channel as well. Again, this race is brought to you by Speedway 660. Big shout and thank out to those boys out on the east coast of Canada for putting on this race for these boys at Maritime iRacing League tonight. As you see going on right now, going by the 61 Ricky Arbo with Steven Matthews. He's about 100 laps down. Unfortunately, he's got a new one now, and you can see he's got some fresh tires on it. He's able to drive around many of these drivers' cars on the high side. Hopefully he gets up there and just drives where he needs to and doesn't cause any problems for any of the other drivers when he's far down. Matthew Barkhouse in 26 has cut that lead down from 1.3 seconds to just over 1 second on Ashton Tucker as he's trying to move his way up in the third position and finish on the podium in tonight's race. This time by, we've got 16 laps to go if these boys stay green the rest of this way. One thing that's fun about doing these short track races is you've got a lot of hard driving that's fast, so it takes a lot of concentration for these drivers to go around these tracks because you are constantly working, constantly turning on the brake, off the brake, on the throttle each and every time you go through this track, and maybe get a little bit of a second, take a quick deep breath in these straightaways. And the straightaways aren't that long at all, at the most, maybe a third of a mile. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Alexander has been able to maintain a 1/10 of a second lead over Ryan Messer. Looks like Ryan Messer in the one's just doing everything he can to sit back there and just wait for the 15 and make a mistake. As these laps wind down, we have got 8 laps to go this time by. to see something going on. These boys are going to try to keep hard into it. See if the 15's tires can hold up versus the 1. And see if the 1's going to be able to get by him late in this race here. We got just 9 laps to go now. Tried to put a little bit of a bumpy there to the 15 to get by him as laps start to wind down. We got 6 laps to go this time by. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Excuse me, 7 laps. He clicked off pretty quick, so we'll see him at 6, I promise. Just kidding. These boys are back against that hard here, nose to tail. Ryan Messer trying to find a way around the 15 of Mike Alexander. I can guarantee you Mike's back there looking in his mirror part of the time, knowing all I gotta do is find a way to keep myself on the bottom and keep my position. If I do that, that's gonna make it very difficult for the 1 to get by. He's gonna have to do it on the high side of the medium eventually. So as these laps start to count down, next time by we will have 5 to go, including the white flag. And it should be a pretty solid battle going on here pretty quick. So who's going to win it out there in YouTube land? Anybody watching? You're going to have the 1 or the 15. These guys are battling. Next time by, there will be 3 to go. As they come out of 4, the 15 gets a little bit loose. Getting a little help, I believe, by the 1. But that being said, we have got a battle on exit of 2. 2 laps to go, and that will do it here at Oxford Plains Raceway. Speedway 660-200, presented by Maritime iRacing League. And here we go. White flag lap, ladies and gentlemen. 1 to go. All the marbles for the win. The 15, Mike Alexander, and the 1 of Ryan Messer will battle coming out of 2. Still no room for the 1 to get by. His last chance to make a pass, tries to get into the back of. Give him a little bit of nudge, tries to get him a little loose, but 15 of Mike Alexander hangs on and gets the win here at Oxford Plains Raceway. Tell you what, congrats go out to that number 15 Mike Alexander. He had one heck of a run up there. Ryan Messer too, started in the front, led the field by as much as 9 seconds at one point. Now he is back up all the way, finishing second. These boys in MIRL should be pretty proud. One heck of a race they put on. Again, they definitely never upset, that's for sure, or depressed. Whatever you want to call it, these guys put on one heck of a show. Ladies and gentlemen, that will just about wrap it up for us here at Oxford Plains Raceway. Final finish in order tonight, Mike Alexander, the big winner in the number 15, followed by Ryan Messer in the 1. 32 of Ashton Tucker takes the podium as well, followed by Matthew Barkhouse in 4th position. Ricky Arbo with a solid top 5. Again, pretty commonplace to see Ricky up there. He's pretty solid. 41, Evan Osborne finishes 6th. George White in the 71 finishes 7th. David Morgan, a solid run for him, finishes 8th, well inside the top 10. Jason Alverson in the 91, who we featured a little earlier,